Today, we're heading out into the wilds, but definitely not as mere tourists. We're going to unpack the ultimate reference for Trek leaders and reveal the hidden depths of what it actually takes to guide a team through the wilderness.
So, what makes a great trekking guide? You might think it just takes strong legs, a good sense of direction, and maybe a hearty laugh. But what makes a truly great guide goes far, far deeper than simply walking fast and knowing which way is north.
The expectation is usually this fast walking trailblazer standing on a peak, heroically pointing at distant mountains. But the reality? Well, guides actually have to act as meteorologists, wilderness medics, group therapists, and quite literally pack mules all at the exact same time.
Consider this our pre-trek briefing and route map for the explainer today. We'll be hitting 1. Before the trail begins. 2. The essential guide toolkit. 3. Managing the human element. 4. Navigating danger and emergencies. And 5. Environmental and cultural respect.
All right, let's dive straight into section 1, before the trail begins. We're looking at the immense preparation that happens before boots ever hit the dirt, starting with the raw physical demands. The sheer physical load required is honestly staggering. Imagine strapping a whole microwave to your back. That's the 15 to 20 kilograms of personal and group gear a guide is hauling. And they aren't just carrying it down the street. They're maintaining cardio endurance for 6 to 10 hours of daily movement, multiple days in a row, often at serious altitude. Basically, you have to be substantially fitter than the group you're leading. But beyond sheer fitness, there's the mental map. A great guide meticulously researches the route long before departure. They're actively memorizing water sources, analyzing seasonal monsoons or avalanche risks, navigating complex permit regulations, and identifying multiple bailout points, just in case of an injury or severe weather. Okay, moving right along to section 2, the essential guide toolkit. We just talked about the physical weight, so let's look at the literal weight on a guide's shoulders by checking out their essential gear. This matrix really highlights the sheer volume of contingencies a guide prepares for. Navigation means GPS and offline maps. First aid, well, that means carrying altitude meds and SAM splints. For comms, they need satellite phones. Plus, they're hauling group support items like extra water purification tablets and spare duct tape. Honestly, a guide's pack is essentially a mobile emergency room and a command center all rolled into one. And right before departure, they absolutely do not leave things to memory. They use necessary templates to ensure flawless execution. They run through a rigorous pre-trip checklist, confirming paperwork and permits, checking the latest weather forecasts, verifying medical declarations, briefing the group, and testing every single comms device. Following this exact protocol is what stops a minor oversight from turning into a major disaster out on the trail. Now, gear and permits don't manage people, which brings us to section 3, managing the human element. This is arguably the most complex, psychological heavy lifting of the entire trek. Picture this, the group is freezing, they're exhausted, and morale is just plummeting. That is when a master guide steps in to actively manage the dynamic. They enforce a buddy system so nobody gets isolated, and they conduct meticulous head counts at every junction, break, and campsite to ensure absolutely no one is left behind. They are just constantly reading the group for any early signs of fatigue or sickness. And because of this, the pace is strictly dictated by the slowest member. Your time and distance calculations, they aren't based on the fittest person in the group. This forces the guide to often stay at the back or the middle of the pack. They're definitely not rushing ahead to summit first. They are there to anchor the team and monitor any stragglers. That slow and steady vigilance pays off massively when conditions deteriorate. So let's move right into section 4, navigating danger and emergencies. Ideally, a guide is Wilderness First Responder certified. Why? Because they have to be able to quickly identify severe, life-threatening altitude sicknesses. We're talking about conditions like AMS, which is acute mountain sickness, HAP, high-altitude pulmonary edema, and HAC, high-altitude cerebral edema. A guide has to know exactly how to recognize a stumbling gait or sudden confusion and execute an evacuation procedure instantly. On top of that, they are constantly assessing external threats. They're reading cloud formations for sudden storms. They're evaluating river speeds before crossing. And they're managing food storage so you don't end up with an unexpected, furry midnight visitor sniffing around your tent. But true outdoor leadership isn't just about protecting the people from the environment. It extends outward to protecting the surroundings from the people. And that leads us to section 5, environmental and cultural respect. Guides rigorously enforce leave no trace principles, making sure the group packs out all their waste and protects local water sources. But respect really goes beyond the landscape itself. It includes cultural sensitivity, like understanding appropriate behavior in sacred sites or local villages. It also means consciously bolstering the local economy by hiring local porters and utilizing homestays whenever possible.
Underpinning all these incredible responsibilities is a rock-solid foundation of clear, calm decision-making based on honest communication over artificial morale. A great guide is never going to downplay a real danger just to keep the group's spirits up. If conditions demand turning back, they communicate that risk honestly and adapt. Which brings us to this brilliant, defining quote from our source material. A great trekking guide isn't the fastest on the trail, they're the one who gets every single person back safely while everyone still wants to trek with them again. I just love that. It means ultimate success is all about collective safety and shared experience, not individual speed or ego. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this provocative thought. How can you apply this safest, not fastest leadership style to your own life and your own team? Whether you're managing a high-stakes corporate team, organizing a community project, or literally just hiking a local trail with your family, how can you ensure your leadership focuses on getting everyone across the finish line together? Thank you for exploring the true depths of outdoor leadership with me today. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next